Okay, so welcome to the session on IT. Okay, welcome everybody. Apologies for the delay as we get started with the IT challenges here. You're at the session on institutionalizing adaptive management. We've got examples from 4 donors and 3 implementing agencies today on how they are institutionalizing adaptive management. My name's Arlyne Johnson, and my co-facilitators in this session are Annette Stewart and Doug Pearsall here, who is giving you a handout. So we're just going to start with a quick overview of the purpose of this session. We asked all of our presenters to talk about whether they're a donor or whether they're an implementing agency, what approach they were using to institutionalize adaptive management within their organization, meaning actually linking their conservation projects with their business processes, their overall operations. And then steps that they're taking to encourage or incentivize this change within their organizations, and a little bit on what expertise or training has been needed for them or that they're using right now to systematize that approach. What are the major challenges they've had? How have they overcome them? What have been the major achievements? And then if they have any recommendations or resources to share. And at the very end, we'll share a Google site with resources to share. So we'll have this brief introduction. Then we have several case study presentations, as I just said. Those with asterisks are joining us virtually. So hence a little bit more of the IT background for this. And we'll be going through first, the 4 presenters are related to donors that are institutionalizing adaptive management within their own organizations or with grantees. And then the last 3 are implementing organizations that are institutionalizing adaptive management. And I'm going to ask Doug to talk a little bit about what we're doing. There's going to be a 3-minute approximately interlude between each speaker where we want some feedback from you. So I'll let Doug speak to that.
Yeah, so we thought about what we would like to learn from all of our presenters and how you might think about questions that you have. So the handouts that I just passed out are intended for you to note any questions that you would have for the speaker during the panel session. And they're simply repeated for every speaker. So what approach, principle, or tactic that you have heard from the speaker would you like to apply in your work? And then the second one, what would be a barrier to applying this approach, principle, or tactic? So in between each speaker, right after each speaker, you'll have 3 minutes to record your thoughts. And then I will time that. You'll hear a familiar sound at about 2:45. And then we'll move on to the next speaker. And when we transition to the panel, we'll ask you about some of your responses. Whatever we don't get to discuss, we'll be collecting those afterwards. That's
Great.
It, right?
Okay, thank you, Doug. Okay, so Doug's just explained then the moderated panel, which will be at the end, where you'll have a chance to forward some of your questions about your approach that you'd like to apply, what barriers you feel you might face, and then we'll ask our panel for some advice on how they overcame those barriers. At the wrap-up at the end, we'll share the Google site where we have all of the session resources available for you to download. There's a link to that. And we'll collect your handouts if you're willing to share them, our ongoing questions, and Annette will talk more about that.